I got to play Jurassic World Evolution 3 for the first time today, and I'm sharing the whole experience with you. We're going to start in campaign, but later we're also getting into Sandbox, where I did some testing to figure out some answers for you guys about the game. And I'm so excited that I get to share this with you, that I got to experience it first, of course, but now that I can share all of this footage with you. So what we're gonna see is just my raw first gameplay. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. And this voiceover I'm doing right now was recorded after the fact. I did during the event start like speaking into the microphone and someone tapped me on the shoulder. I was like, yeah, we're not recording voiceover, we're just recording gameplay. But here we go, we're getting started in Badlands, Montana, and I'm guessing this is the first campaign mission that we're gonna be on. And of course we have the returning Cabot Finch, we have Jeff Goldblum guiding us along, mostly judging us. It's what he does best. And what I do best is not campaign, so bear with me here, but I was just really focused on trying to figure out as much as possible and trying not to be overwhelmed by how just insanely excited I was to be there. It was a huge honor, honestly. And also, if the audio of this video is a little different, I do apologize. I'm recording this with an absolutely minuscule microphone that I could shove into my backpack because I'm still in London right now. I'm still in the hotel in London, but I wanted to get this out for you guys as fast as possible. So while, you know, the characters are just doing their thing and, you know, setting the mood, I'm flying around and gawking at all the decorations. Here's an overview of the map. And again, we're gonna be seeing more stuff later. Like, this is just the first campaign mission. There's gonna be another campaign thing, and again, Sandbox later on. So yeah, here we go. So what are my overall experience of it? As you know, the game is taking us through like a bit of a tutorial, so you can watch that in the background. But overall, my experience of this first like hands-on game experience was excellent. It was so good. Like, my eyes were popping out of my head at certain points. My jaw was dropping. It's just incredible. Like, graphically, it's a huge step up. And, you know, especially once we get to the Sandbox section of this, we're really gonna see like the improved options available to us. Now, at the start here, we are just very limited in what we can do. You know, this is like a bit of a tutorial, which is good, honestly, especially for me. You know, I wouldn't say campaign is like my strength. It's not my comfort zone. My comfort zone is Sandbox. And of course, this is also good for people who are, you know, gonna be new to the game. But yeah, at this point, I was just really impressed by the crate that brings in the dinosaurs as opposed to bringing them all in individually. And the first dinosaur that we're gonna get is Lokiceratops. I'm really happy about that because it is my favorite of the 3 new ones that we have so far. And the crate, it's a small thing, but it instantly adds something to the game experience because, you know, instead of seeing them get flown into your park like a rag doll on a string, we actually get to see this lovely exit animation, you know, very similar to a hatchery animation. You can see the parents behind just sort of waiting to come out. And I bet my eyes were doing the starry sparkly thing at this point. It was so lovely seeing this. It makes me really excited for the babies to be in the game. Now, mind you, some babies are gonna die later on in this video for science, okay? It was like one of the most asked questions you guys had. Like, how are the babies gonna die? Well, I'm gonna show you. It's gonna break all our hearts, but that's the sacrifices that we have to make. So yeah, it starts off with really what this is always about, which is making the dinosaurs happy. And you can see me like, you know, trying to click through the menu to show you as much as possible, but you know, things light up to show us where to go. So we're gonna start with improving this habitat for the Lokiceratops. And all of this feels very intuitive. Like, obviously I say that with quite a bit of experience in Jurassic World Evolution 2 and even Jurassic World Evolution 1, but let's be perfectly frank here. I don't spend a lot of time in campaign, so I think that I'm pretty much on level with a beginner at this part. So yeah, I felt like it was really nice. What I really loved is you can see those little hearts over the tiles. That's already a huge help, because those hearts indicate that that's the foliage type that the dinosaur in question was. So yeah, it's a lot less overwhelming. You just look at where the hearts are, and you could see that the hearts, they sort of stopped lighting up, and that's because we met that requirement. So yeah, that's one of those little quality of life things that does make a difference. And there's a couple more that I came across during the gameplay. Something with the camera, by the way. And I think we're going to be seeing more of that. You know, just little things that make our lives as park managers a little easier. Here you go, I'm scrolling. By the way, did you catch it? The Ford Explorer tour is also returning. We haven't seen that in any of the marketing yet, but I did catch it in that menu over there. So yeah, now we have my favorite thing, which is a storm rolling in, but it was okay. I got a little stressed out, worried that I was gonna make an absolute fool of myself, but you know, I'd already done that, honestly. Like I said, I was, you know, I'm recording this voiceover after the fact because it turned out they weren't recording it on site, but they gave us a headset with a microphone, so I assumed that they would be recording our voiceover. So I was doing the YouTuber thing, and I would like to formally apologize to everyone who was seated around me. The noise cancelling of the headphones was pretty good, but yeah, my apologies to the gaming beaver who was sitting next to me and all the other people around me, like people from like gaming websites and actual press, actual important people. I'm so sorry that you had to listen to me yap for the first, I want to say 5 minutes. I'm sorry about that. I didn't get the memo. But yeah, here we go. So all the storm did was release our dippies, and I'm using the what's it called, like auto aim, to make this a little easier on myself. Now you might say, Evo, really, you need auto aim for sauropods? Yes, I do. I wanted to be as efficient as possible as I went through this, and you know, just looking at everything. So, what else should I ramble about, as Cabot Finch is rambling as well? I guess, in a lot of ways, it plays the same as Jurassic World Evolution 2. If you have experience with Jurassic World Evolution 2, you're... oh, yeah, here you go. Here we go, people. Come on now. Look at this. You can imagine what my face was doing at that time. You can look at that. So yeah, Detour, we can fully customize the path color. Now, I did already snuff that out on the website, and I did like a dedicated video about it, because that's important to me. Paths are important to me. But you know, there's always that little bit of skepticism, like, yeah, is it fully customizable, or is that just marketing talk? No, it's fully customizable. But like literally everything about the path, like you can put down pink sandy path if you want, and give it a bright turquoise curb. You can do that, and the fact that you can do that is amazing. You know, and in the background, I'm doing, like, not important things, which is actual park management, as I talk about the stuff that, you know, is the priority, which is path. But yeah, it's just a couple of really simple campaign missions. I will say, you know, maybe we played, like, maybe 45 minutes of the campaign, and it was all pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And very reminiscent of the Jurassic World Evolution 2 campaign, in that it was very tutorialized. But you know, that makes sense. This is literally the start of the campaign, and I'm assuming that as it goes on, which we did not get to experience yet, it's gonna become more in-depth. At least that's the hope. I think it will. I mean, we're gonna go to like 10 locations, and going in between all of those, so yeah, it's gonna get more complicated. Alright, just flying my dippies into the habitat. So, I honestly don't remember what I was talking about before I got distracted by Path. I think I was just talking about like the overall feel of the game, and yeah, it just feels very much like Jurassic World Evolution 2, but better. You know? But like, majorly better. I was really impressed. Now, I'm quite easy to impress, I'll admit that. You know, you slap... Oh yeah, I got distracted by these guys. Look at them. Just look at them. Anyway, that's the ADHD. And I forgot again what I was going to talk about. Anyway. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm just flying around. But yeah, it's all just really, really simple stuff at the start here. See, I was trying to click on things, and, you know, nothing is working because it is just the tutorial levels of the campaign. What else can I talk about as I do stuff in the background? By the way, do pay attention to everything you're seeing right now. And what I also want to point out is tomorrow Frontier is going to be live streaming stuff. On Sunday they're going to be live streaming stuff, and I'm going to be covering all of that. And if you don't want to watch like this full video of me just playing the game and rambling, rude, but also fair, I will also be like summarizing all of the findings. Ooh, here we have the terrain paints. Yeah, so the marketing as of yet hadn't shown the terrain paint, so I was really curious about that. We don't have all terrain biome paints per map, as you saw. It's all like appropriate for the desert, but it is a much, much, much better selection than we have for the desert in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And I'm also going to go to a tropical map later on. Yeah, we're going to go to Hawaii after this one. Alright, so placing down maintenance posts. You know, these are kind of similar to ranger posts in the sense that, you know, you assign rangers, or actually you assign ATVs to these posts. And then when something breaks, like any of these buildings lighting up blue right now, if something breaks, the ATV will automatically go out to fix that. So that's going to be, you know, a huge lifesaver when a storm hits and stuff gets destroyed all over the park. You know, you can just trust that your ATV team is going to be on that. Oh, look at that path. Not a sexy path. So here we go. We're just assigning that, same as with the ranger post that we're used to. And it like all becomes automated. I'm even looking back on this. I'm like, googly eyes, like heart eyes. I love how this looks. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, so we have Corythosaurus incoming. In terms of new dinosaur discoveries, maybe there's something hidden that I missed. I did click through as much stuff as possible. Like, you know, I clicked through dig sites and the research tree. So maybe in a blink and you'll miss it screenshot, there is a hidden dinosaur, but I didn't catch any new species. It did nothing jumped out to me, at least. Alright, so we're gonna bring our Corythosaurus into the park. Honestly, the whole event was just amazing, and I don't know if I've already said it. If I didn't, it's because I'm a bad YouTuber and a bad person, but I really want to thank Frontier, obviously, for inviting me. Very selfishly, I'm very happy. Look at this! Nah, I'm getting distracted again. Look at this. Pink sand path with a blue curb. Are you kidding me right now? No, seriously. And it goes for all path types, by the way. Here you go. Bright red. You can just do that. Every single path type is fully customizable with colors. Alright, so adding to the fact that I'm a horrible person, I just interrupted my thank you speech to admire path. But yeah, huge thanks to Frontier for setting this up, for inviting me for very selfish reasons. I'm very happy about that. You know, this all started in 2019, a year after Jurassic World Evolution 1 had launched. That's when it started for me. And to get invited to something like this now is amazing, honestly amazing. But also, you know, tomorrow and Sunday, it's gonna be open to other people as well. Like today, you know, they did the YouTubers and the press, but tomorrow and Sunday, you know, anyone who was lucky enough to just get a ticket gets to experience this. And by this, I don't just mean this gameplay that we're watching right now, but also the whole event around it. It was really fun the way they set that up. You know, there were actors pretending to be Din, like rangers and stuff like that, and we came in as, you know, park managers, and they were giving us like a little tour and just showing us stuff as if we're in the universe, as if it's all real. And that was so fun. And I can't sing the praises enough that they set all of that up. You know, in a post-COVID world, they could have just done a digital event, but they didn't. They really went all out, and it was lovely. It was so lovely and so impressive. And just, it gets me, if possible, even more excited about the game. Which is insane. Which is like actually crazy when you think about it, when you realize how excited I already am. But yeah, this just magnified that tenfold. By the way, in the background, I'm getting informed that my dinosaurs aren't happy, and that's because there aren't any males in this habitat. Can't relate. But yeah, our dinosaurs like having males. So we're sort of getting like a stern talking to here, where she's like, maybe Din isn't the right partner for us because you're not really delivering on our needs, really. We need like the boys in the house. And that's our cue to start over for the next one, and the next one is going to be Hawaii. Now, obviously, keep in mind, this campaign isn't fully linear. You can come back to this park later, and I think that's very much the point. You know, we're going to go to Hawaii now. We're going to unlock males through research, and then I'm very, very sure that we'll go back here. Oh, yeah, I'm testing out the cameras here. So this is the second camera mode, which is free look. And then there is a third one, which is placement, and it locks the camera like that. Honestly, I think the third camera mode, I don't know who that is for, but the first two are great. It's just another one of those little quality of life things that you can switch between camera modes. All right. Oh, excuse me. I've been saying Hawaii. It's Kauai. Does it count? I feel like it counts. But I should be specific. Here we go. Kauai, Hawaii. Yeah. Look, by the way, look at the little animation of the raptor chasing the goat. Oh, you're dang right. That could amuse me for hours on end. You are so right. Literally, I wouldn't even mind if the game takes 5 minutes to load, because that's hilarious. Alright, so we're flying into Kauai, and oh! Alright, so that waterfall is obviously, like, beyond the border of the map. Yes, I did play with the waterfalls for a little bit. You know, there was some downtime here. We're used to that with the campaign for these games. So there was some downtime. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful. Seriously. I'm pretty confident I made some weird faces, and I'm very concerned that you're going to be seeing those weird faces, because I actually had a cameraman following me around today. Like, Frontier asked me if I wanted to be like, I don't know, like be like your vessel to experience this event. So they recorded my experience at the event. So there was a cameraman following me around, and I'm pretty sure he caught some of my face making as I was. Look at that. Aw. Gorgeous. Yeah, so you know, while they're doing their thing, I'm just doing my thing, looking around here, looking at the Gallimimus. And the game looks so amazing. Oh. I'm still like getting lost in the sauce. It's so good. So yeah, this is the map where we're gonna be unlocking males. And oh, yes, look at this Maiasaura. Get ready for baby Maiasaura. That's the ultimate goal here. We're gonna be making a baby Maiasaura. And I'm not gonna lie, I almost cried. Oh, here we go again with the path. This time we're going pink. I didn't want to spend too much time on this, because again, I was just very conscious about trying to get as far into things to show you guys stuff. But every single time I opened the path tool, it was just amazing. Ooh, you can see the Dunkleosteus statue. Yeah, I'm like discovering things as I'm watching this back with you guys. By the way, if you see anything in this video, you know, hidden in a corner somewhere, let me know. It's gonna be a team effort to analyze all of this footage that's coming out this weekend. It's gonna be good. All right, so here we have an overview of our park management. And now we're gonna recruit some scientists. And you can see, by the way, I want to make this very clear. The scientists that you're seeing here right now are not AI generated. By that I mean the images. Obviously there's some like AI scrambling going on with like combining first name, last name, and like their skills, their bios, whatever. That's all getting scrambled to get like a nice mix. But the images are not AI generated. They changed that. And I did make a video on that because I felt like that was a huge change to share. But people still aren't aware of that. So yeah, initially they were going to do AI-generated scientists, but in response to feedback, they changed that. So yeah, I feel like that's, you know, just one of those examples of, I say this every time, but Frontier does listen. Come on, guys. I mean, look at this. You cannot look at this path tool and say that, you know, they don't listen. They do. Honestly, I feel like this path tool goes above and beyond with like the coloring. That's just insane. All right, here we go. So we're gonna research males. Yeah, I got distracted by the wrong icon. That's the one. Here we go. Warren is gonna help us research male dinosaurs because that's what we need, not just for baby making, but also to make our dinosaurs happy and for Din to be like a successful contributor to whatever our clients on these locations want. Oh, we have a new character, by the way. Dr. Louis Baldera? I don't know, he was fine, I guess. I think everyone's just here for Cabot's. Nobody's here for me, everyone's here for Cabot's. And I'm just rambling over him. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so again, just, you know, clicking on stuff. But the game is telling me, scientists, you need more scientists. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Maybe? Yeah. Oh, I was just checking to see which skill they needed to fill. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is the boring part. As I was like trying to half remember, okay, but like, what did I need again? I was so overwhelmed, guys. I cannot overstate how overwhelmed I was. Yeah, please keep in mind, this was like my first in-person event. I got to play Jurassic World Evolution 2 early as well, but that was all, you know, that was COVID times. It was all digital. It's from the comfort of my own home. This was like in a room with, God, I don't even know how many PCs they had set up. That's actually crazy, like the value in that room right there, now that I think about it. There were like some serious PC setup in there. It must have been like 30 or something like that. But yeah, in a room with all these other people, and you know, the Frontier was there, so they're watching you. Like, you know, this is obviously like a fun moment for them. Like, they get to see people experience their game for the first time, which I hope is going to be a really satisfying experience for them. I think it should be, because they did so well. But you know, you have that. I have my cameraman, Tam, who was great, by the way. And, you know, Gaming Beaver next to me. So yeah, this little autistic person was very overwhelmed, but I hope I did good enough for you guys. I really, really wanted to deliver as much information as possible. That was the focus. Look, you can even change like the Jurassic logos on the path. Like, you can change that in color. Oh, it's brilliant. All right, again, I'm just going through like this research tree just to see if there's any species that we didn't know about already. I'm not seeing anything new here. You can see some blacked out squares. I'm guessing that might have been like something new that they cut out, but they told us that beforehand, before this event. Not all of the dinosaurs are in this build yet, so you know, I wouldn't worry too much if you're seeing something alphabetical and your favorite dinosaur is missing. Doesn't mean anything yet. Look at this, and we have all these pieces. Look at that. So I started scrolling through the items here. Just again, you know, you can pause and zoom in. That's definitely what I'm going to be doing in like a full breakdown analysis video of this later when I'm home. Again, I'm still in London right now in my hotel room. I can't really edit, so that's why this is just the raw experience. But yeah, when I'm back home, I'm going to be editing down all of this, just the pure information, and I'm going to be zooming in on stuff as well. And later on in the video, when we get to Sandbox, I scroll through every single tab to show what's in there. So yeah, we're gonna be finding everything and killing some babies in the meantime, because that's what a totally sane person does. So here, I'm just like waiting around for the rangers to do their checks so I can optimize the environment, the habitat for the dinosaurs. It was just taking a while. I was considering taking over and just doing it manually. But then I was like, I'm a manager. I delegate. I manage. No, again, I was overwhelmed and frozen with indecision. At least I remembered that the fast forward button exists. Oh, you know what other button exists? The undo button. Let's get a standing ovation for the undo button, because yeah, I mean, I only used it once, but it was nice. It was nice. You know, you only have to use it once to realize what you've been missing this entire time. So good. By the way, I'm making a loss now. I'm pretty sure I started making money later, and that's when I started to get a little bit more comfortable. But I was worried. I was worried that I would bankrupt my park and that I would like set myself up to fail, and they would be like, well, I guess you're out, Evo. I guess you can't play anymore because you bankrupted your park. So yeah, I was playing around with the water a little bit, and here you can see the different terrain paints. Again, you know, we're not gonna have a snowy brush on Kauai, but we do get like these really nice varied textures, and I'm very curious to see what, like, for all of the maps, what the different textures are. Alright, so my ranger finally completed the check for the Parasaurolophus, so we can optimize their habitat. And then I think after that, we're going to be making some male Maiasaura, and they're going to get to business. They're going to help life find a way, if you will. But yeah, in the meantime, as we're watching this, I gotta do the YouTuber thing and say that if you like what you're seeing, if this game excites you the way it does me, then consider subscribing to the channel, because obviously things are really breaking loose now. Like an Indominus Rex in Jurassic World, it's going out, it's escaping. Like, there's no containing it anymore. We're getting so much content this weekend from the event, and then it's only a couple more weeks until the game is out. We'll have it in hand, and we get to explore the full campaign. I'm gonna do a playthrough for that. We're gonna be building stuff in Sandbox. We're gonna be looking at a lot of paths. We're gonna be looking at all the babies. And yeah, if you want to see that with me, then consider subscribing to the channel and follow along as we experience this game together. I'm very excited. Frontier asked me at the end of the event, like, what's like your parting words here? Well, my parting words is that I am now 10 times more excited for the game, and these last couple of weeks are gonna be hard. But we're gonna manage this together, okay? We're in this together. We can do this. Also, next Tuesday, we have another batch of new dinosaurs dropping, so yeah. The news is really ramping up, folks. Alright, so placing a hatchery. And again, keep in mind that these buildings that you place down, they are fully customizable. Oh yeah, so I'm checking out the natural path. And what I also played with is that you can switch the width of the path, the thickness, if you will. So I went with extra thick. Just because my scientists deserve that. But yeah, all of these buildings are made of the same pieces that we have available for modular building. Ooh, here we go. This is the waterfall segment. You know what's really funny? I was talking to Gaming Beaver afterwards, and he made a joke like, yeah, you know, I didn't get distracted by stuff like waterfalls because that's not good content. And I was like, I literally spent like a minute playing with the waterfalls, but okay. It's not good content, but it's for me, okay? It makes me happy. It's good for me. I don't know if it's good for you. Give the video a like if it's good for you. But yeah, here we go. Alright. So, oh, by the way, no, before I talk about modular building, look at the hatchery right now. So, of course, curious little me started scrolling through this, and I'm looking... I didn't see anything new as I went through it, and I'm also still not seeing anything new. But yeah, this is the selection of dinosaurs that we had available in this early build. But yeah, oh my god, we finally have it. We finally have accurate skin previews in the hatchery, so we don't have to, you know, exit our parks and go to the species viewer to check what our dinosaur is gonna look like. Like, this is... For me, this is like one of the biggest quality of life updates because, you know, even though it was a minor effort to exit the game and go to the species viewer, I'm lazy. I don't want to do that. So I ended up just almost always randomizing the colorations and just, you know, see what comes out, or always going with the same skins that I knew by heart that I liked. And this is just going to be a huge help in, like, really purposefully picking the skins for your herd. Specifically with, like, the sexual dimorphism, you can really enhance that with the skin colorations. Alright, so we're gonna make our male Myosaura with the help of Warren. So there you go, fast forward, she remembered. I'm so proud of past Evo. But yeah, with the modular building. So every single building you see is built up out of the individually placeable pieces that we have available. So if there's like a singular metal beam on a building that you don't like, you can remove that, recolor it, resize it, whatever, or you can build stuff up from the ground, like from nothing, like your god, or, you know, an architect and an engineer, for those of us among us so inclined. But what I really want to talk about is that as I was playing the game, you guys know I'm a little scared about the modular building, but it wasn't in your face at all. I didn't even feel like it prompted me to check it out. You know, you just plop down a building and it's whatever. You know, it's an option, but I felt like it was very easy to ignore. Now, obviously, when you get into like the decorations tab to look for a planter, that's where things are gonna start to get a little bit overwhelming, because you get hit with like this wall of tabs, and when you click on the tab, you can like basically scroll endlessly. So yeah, that's maybe where it's gonna get a little bit more iffy, a little bit more in your face, maybe. But, you know, during the campaign, you know, if you just play this game for campaign and challenge mode, the modular building is not going to be, like, you know, nagging you, like, do better. Do better. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm just enjoying it. I'm going to take a sip because, you know, I'm going to be talking to you guys for a while here. So I'm going to basically treat it like a live stream. I'm going to take a little sip here. Because I'm a professional. Alright. We can release our male dinosaurs. And I clicked on the wrong thing because that's what I do. Here you go, release. So I think I only got one mail. I did it wrong, as per usual. But thankfully the game didn't punish me for that. I think later on it will. But yeah, for now, with how things were set up, just really easy. Again, this is like the tutorial end of the spectrum for the campaign. So yeah, it was really easy to get the breeding going. I just had to make them happy first. And again, the little hearts just help you out, make it like visually really stand out which ones you need. And just like that, they're comfortable. And the timer goes down. I could have sped it up there. Right, now we're gonna get into the breeding. So that's a separate menu. And there you can see my lone male with this like harem. And as I selected it, I realized, look, all of the females have like a poor breeding chance. So this was when past Evo was panicking. She was like, oh no, oh, my dinosaurs aren't gonna breed. I'm not gonna get baby dinosaurs. And you know, my parents are right. I'm a failure. No, that's a joke. Maybe my therapist says that's a joke. But yeah, I was really worried that it just wasn't gonna work, but it did. What am I doing now? Oh, right. So yeah, I was panicking that, oh, maybe the one male is the problem. In hindsight, obviously the females were the problem. Aren't they always? I can say that. But yeah, so I was panicking a little bit, thinking I needed to make more dinosaurs. But no, we can just move on, and we're gonna place our nests. So we have 3 sizes of nests. You could already see in the HUD there that of the 3 sizes, there's also 3 like pre-built looks to it. And we can really easily customize this. So I'm going to be clicking through that in a minute. Keep in mind this nest is fully modularly built, so if there's a bush you don't like, you can get rid of that specific bush. But there's also just a really easy way to Evo, past Evo, please, lock in, focus, there you go. Oh yeah, I was just like, come on, baby. Come on, baby. In a minute, she's gonna realize, oh, I should check out what I can actually do with the nest. Surely, that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, this is like one of the pre-built nests available. Just please, woman, click on it. No, don't go back. Don't go back. Oh, I realized what I was doing here. Yeah. It said in the task prompt that in the meantime, as you wait, you can get like a head start on making nails for the other species. I never actually got around to doing that, but that is the little detour that we're taking here right now. Excuse me. But yeah, to make males, you need to have your dinosaurs up to 70% genome, and you know, I didn't know that at the time, but yeah, you can see that I'm only at 54% for these dinosaurs, so that wouldn't have worked. It's really odd to watch me watch past me. So yeah, I'm excited to see what other gameplay we're going to be seeing this weekend. You know, maybe more skilled people. Oh yeah, she laid the egg. There you go, there's the egg. There it is. Life found a way. We have an egg. I'm finally gonna click on it. There you go. So we have our nest preferences. My Sora has no requirements. And here you can see, you can change the mount. And you can see little changes happening there. So that's how you can customize that part of the nest. And then here you have like the access to the modular building aspect of it. And if you open that up, if you open up the group, there, that bush, you can just get rid of that. Every single piece of it you can get rid of, and obviously you can add whatever you want as well. So that's really fun. Like, again, it's really easy. You can just plop down a pre-built thing if you want, but if you want to go like full out with your creativity, you can even do that with the nest, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I'm again going through everything, trying to find like a dinosaur that we didn't know about yet. And then silly me decided to go for Dilophosaurus because I'm a child. And I wanted to cause some mayhem. But unfortunately, we don't get to that. Because again, you know, we also got to play a little bit of Sandbox, so my campaign gameplay was sort of ended because they offered me to go to Sandbox, and I, like a little puppy, I was like, yes, yes, yes. Apparently puppies can speak. Don't look into that too much. I'm honestly not sure what I'm doing right now. I'm making Lokiceratops. Oh yeah. Oh, here's the baby! Look! Oh. There is the little baby. Oh my god, I swear. I was like getting a little bit misty-eyed. I managed to rein it back in, but it was a little emotional, honestly, to finally have like baby dinosaurs. Oh yeah, and the game automatically names the first baby Cabot Jr. Because of course, he would name the very first baby dinosaur after himself. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. And you can see in their like their heritage tab, you can see which dinosaurs are their parents, and here they're doing the most adorable little animation with an adult. Look at it. And that's what I really love about the babies. Like, obviously it's gonna add a level of management, which I think is really cool as well. But mostly what I love about the babies is that, you know, you just become instantly attached, and you get like all of these cute animations for the babies themselves, babies interacting with the parents. And I just love how much realism that adds to the game, how much attachment that adds to the game. I think that's really brilliant. So now we're off on a mission to take a picture of little Cabot Jr.'s first portrait. There he is. Not his best angle, I would say, but nonetheless, have a picture. Oh, it's so cute though. Yeah, I really like this part of the game. Like, I acknowledge that, you know, baby dinosaurs alone isn't enough to make the third game better, right? But I definitely felt like it's an integral part of it. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted. Alright, so the next objective here is to place a viewing gallery on the Maiasaura. By the way, at this point, someone was talking to me. Kat from Frontier came over because she was watching the baby with me, and yeah, we were just talking about how cute the baby is. We were just geeking out about the baby. Anyway, when I get back to work, I'm placing a viewing gallery so we can make some money off this baby. Okay, this is not a charity. That baby's gotta bring in the dollars. So yeah, I had started synthesizing Lokiceratops, thinking, okay, I need to get a male. And here I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. I randomly didn't get any males. And this is when the journey of discovery started, that I actually need more genome to be able to make a male. Now, unfortunately, Cabot Jr. got sick. So, again, panic. I have to place my MVU so I can take care of little Cabot Jr. Now, by the way, there are sometimes some terrain constraints when you want to place these buildings. So it's not like they got rid of all terrain constraints. That is something to be mindful of. I think you can like work around that in like the creative modes. But yeah, during campaigns, sometimes you want to place a building somewhere and it does say terrain constraints. So yeah, I got Dilophosaurus genome when I should have gotten genome for the other species in the park: Parasaurolophus, Gallimimus, Lokiceratops. I'm a bad park manager. I don't think Din would hire me, honestly. Yeah, I might have failed the application process here. It did really feel like that. I mean, they literally said that they would be assessing us, and I was like, gulp, yikes, I'm in trouble. So yeah, little Cabot unfortunately got sick, and you know, there's the same procedure that goes on when you have a sick dinosaur that we also had for Jurassic World Evolution 2. I don't quite remember how it was in Jurassic World Evolution 1, but in Jurassic World Evolution 2, you know, you have to go out with your MVU team to the baby. Look at the babe. Look, the baby is hiding behind an adult. Did you see that? And now he's gonna follow the adult. It's so cute. Anyway, the procedure is the same. You stalk your baby with the MVU to diagnose their ailment, and then once you figure out what the ailment is, you then go into the research tree and you research the cure for that. Unfortunately, in a little bit, somebody is gonna tap me on the shoulder and is gonna be like, "Hey, Evo, in the interest of time, do you want to hop over to Sandbox so you have more time in Sandbox to explore over there?" And I very, very much wanted to do that. So we're gonna leave little Cabot Jr. Here. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. But yeah. I really just wanted to get to Sandbox so I could start researching, you know, the important stuff. Will the carnivores attack sauropods and have the sauropods fight back? What happens when a carnivore attacks a baby? Can we build bridges? Question mark? You know, that's the sort of stuff that I really wanted to investigate. Those were like the most common questions that I got from you guys as well. So yeah, we're gonna leave little Cabot Jr. in the Twilight Zone. Look, we're just gonna pretend he's alright. And we're gonna move on to Sandbox, where we can get some actual research going. Alright, so they switched me over to Sandbox, and we're going to Clark County, Nevada. Now, they did give us an option, or they gave us a choice. We could either go to this park right here, which is fully built. I think this is one of the parks that, yeah, this is definitely one of the parks that we also saw in marketing, so that was really cool to see it like for real. And the other option we had was an empty Sandbox map. Now, I chose this one because, you know, this one already has dinosaurs and buildings to look at and explore as like a baseline, and then we're gonna add to that later. You know, I'm gonna make it Indominus Rex. I'm gonna make a Giganotosaurus. Yes, we are gonna make them fight. We're gonna make them fight sauropods. We're gonna make them hunt babies, all that stuff. First, though, I wanted to release the pterosaurs that were ready in the hatchery. So here's the Tropiognathus entering our park. And I think next on the docket is Dimorphodon. Again, I was just looking for new dinosaurs to add to the list, but I didn't catch any, unfortunately. So yeah, after letting these guys out, we're just gonna look at this gorgeous park. And this is just a taste of what we will be able to do as well. Oh, and I was there for the birth of baby Megalodon. So yeah, the female's just sort of hanging out in the nest. She did glitch down there. And then the babies come out right away. So it does work differently from, you know, the whole egg laying process. The female comes out with the babies. Speaking of that little glitch, I do want to point out that, you know, even though there's still a couple of weeks to go, you know, the game isn't completely done yet, right? So if you see any glitches right now, you know, those could still get polished out and all that stuff. You know, this is an early access build, so just be mindful of that. And again, be mindful of the fact that not all of the content is in the game yet either at this point. There is still some time for them to further perfect the game. So yeah, that's the Yutyrannus habitat. What's really fun is that this is the park where we first saw the blurry Yutyrannus. So, as I was flying around, I spotted the babies. So a plan was forming. And I got distracted. I got really distracted that we got inside her head right there. I think other people heard me go, ew. But yeah, we have Yutyrannus and we have baby sauropods. I was like, okay, that's gonna be like the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move over the Yutyrannus to the Diplodocus habitat and see like what the baby killing is actually gonna be like. So that's one experiment. I'm getting distracted again. It's kind of what I do, but look at the little baby. Look at the fluffy little baby. He's so cute. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing when this game comes out, I'm gonna be doing a full video just looking at the babies and reacting to the babies. In the meantime, you know, as I'm waiting for like my helicopter team to tranquilize the Uteranus and move it over, you know, that was just the perfect opportunity for me to scroll through this menu. And you can see how slowly the scroll bar moves. And that's just all of the like different textures. I honestly feel like they could have done this differently. Maybe that's like my one feedback that I have right now. Instead of having like all of the you know, all of the materials in the menu, just have the pieces in the menu, and then when you click on the piece, you can cycle through glass, wood, plaster, all that stuff. Because right now, you know, this is a really big menu to scroll through. But once you click on something, you know, you can recolor it as you please. So the next tab was flooring, and this is where I remembered that I wanted to check if we can do something with bridges. So this is like a multi-stage experiment. First, I needed to find out if guests would still walk on this. So I placed it on the path, and you can see it doesn't interfere with the guests. So, you know, you can lay down different types of flooring and build like a whole construction around the path. Ooh, look at the gorgeous construction in the bottom left corner. That's amazing. Anyway, I'm super focused. Okay, so guests can still walk over this, but you saw as soon as I deleted the path, the guests behave as if there's nothing there. So they're not treating this type of flooring as path. And that, of course, is a bad sign. And yeah, spoiler alert, we cannot make functional bridges. It is disappointing for sure. We can make bridges, but you know, we're gonna have to treat it like an illusion. I'm gonna do some more research on that in a little bit, but first I had to move my Uteranus into the sauropod habitat and see what happens there. The sauropod habitat also happens to be a habitat with a Cretaceous cruise going around, so we can also see what happens then. Alright. What is Past Evo doing now? She's going back to the things. So yeah, it was my mission to just scroll through all of these, so, you know, we'd get an idea of what, you know, what the options are. Now I skipped through that one because it was just all the same pieces, but in different materials. This is actually, here again, we're starting to get into, you know, just different materials. These are all of the columns. And at the bottom there, you can see, like, you know, the bones of the Jurassic Park gates. So you can build that however you want. And you can color that however you want as well. Look at that. The golden arches, you might say. Alright, so next up we have windows and doors. Just a whole bunch of them. Just huge selection of them. And obviously, you know, we have to have a huge selection of them because all of the amazing buildings that we see, all of the amazing pre-builds. Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have clicked through the pre-builds. I didn't do that. It literally only hit me just now. I should have clicked through the pre-builds. I'm sorry. Maybe I would have done it if I had enough time, but yeah. Oh, that's a little dumb on me. Anyway, but yeah, all of the items that they use for the pre-builds are also available to us as individually placeable stuff. Oh yeah, I was checking out the low fences. I also go into the fence menu, and unfortunately, low fences are gonna have to be... Did you see her fall? That gave me a good chuckle. Low fences are gonna have to be modularly built. There is no low fence in the fence tool. That's a little spoiler for you. Also, yes, dinosaurs clipping through each other is still back, unfortunately. But the stage has been set. We have our carnivore and our baby sauropods in one habitat, and we're gonna see what happens. In the meantime, though, here we go. We're in the hatchery, and these are all of the dinosaurs available in this early build. And I'm just scrolling through again, just looking to see if we can, find a new dinosaur to add to the list here. I'm not seeing anything new, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna be making an Indominus Rex because I figured Uteranus isn't big enough to attack the adult sauropods, and that's correct. At least I think so. The Uteranus never attacked an adult sauropod, only the babies. So yeah, I needed something big to see if the adult sauropods would defend themselves, would they fight back? And of course, would they defend the baby? If an Indominus Rex is about to go for a little baby, is Mama Dippy gonna be like, no, you don't? So yeah, we're gonna be discovering that as well. So let's check in. And yeah, so this is, I think, the first discovery that might disappoint some people. I was just taken aback by how beautiful this is. Like, look at that. And they're just effortlessly paddling under the tail of the Diplodocus. This is amazing to me. Like, this is exactly what I want. Now, what I started to say earlier, I think some people are going to be disappointed that the Uteranus is not attacking the kayaks. So it's kind of the same as, when you have a tour vehicle go through a habitat with carnivores. They don't, sometimes they will attack, but, it's not like they will actually come to kill, I guess. They might, ram the vehicle or something. The Uteranus and the Indominus and the Giga all left the kayaks alone. There was no interaction at all between those carnivores and the kayaks. So that's maybe a little bit of disappointment for the people who were hoping for that sort of carnage. I was hoping for it as well, just an interesting animation to happen there. Oh, I'm just now noticing the Uteranus attacked a baby for the first time down there. We're gonna get a better look at it though, don't worry. I'm guessing because I'm not moving again, someone was asking me a question again, so here goes the Indominus Rex. Oh, I remember what they were asking. They were offering me to go to the other map, to the empty map, if I wanted to do that, but I was like, no, I'm doing an experiment right now. Please don't judge me, but I'm about to kill some babies. So you can see the little Dippy there. I thought he was dead, but he rallied. Oh, look at the poor thing. I felt so bad, but I was like, okay, this is what the people want. Here, I paused it because the Indominus was going after the adults. And yeah, there we go. It bites it the same way we're used to. And the Diplodocus does nothing to fight back. The hunt fails, but he is going to be killing sauropods later on. There you go. The UT just knocked over that baby and killed the baby. Now it got interrupted by that menu popping up. We're going to see the Indominus do the same attack on the babies. And it's just like, it is that ramming animation. So it's not particularly violent, honestly. Like, it does kill the baby, but it's not like it's tearing into its flesh or something like that, which was probably done on purpose to sort of minimize here. But the people are in the middle of the fight and they're totally fine. And the Indominus just in one bite kills the Uteranus. What I discovered as I was doing these experiments, these totally ethical and normal experiments for a human to do the very first time they have hands-on experience with baby dinosaurs. What I discovered is that fighting works the exact same way in Jurassic World Evolution 3 as it does in Jurassic World Evolution 2. They do the circling thing and then they lunge at each other. They bite, they take damage. Depending on the stats of the dinosaur, they might, take turns. As far as I could tell, it worked the same, and I talked a little bit with the Gaming Beaver afterwards as well. Gaming Beaver went into the empty map, and did like a battle royale situation. So yeah, you can check that out as well if you want like a different experience. But yeah, I checked with him because I saw the bloodbath at the end of his gameplay. So I was like, okay, I tested this as well, and from what I could tell, the fighting worked the same. Was that your experience as well? And yeah, he did confirm that fighting just works the same way as it does in Jurassic World Evolution 2. I know that that's a huge disappointment for a huge portion of the community. And you might want me to be like mad about that. The problem is that I don't play this game for the fighting. Like, I play this game in Sandbox with all of that stuff typically turned off, right? So I want to acknowledge that I understand that this is a disappointment for, again, a pretty huge part of the community who does play this game for the battle aspect, for the carnage of it. I'm just not that type of player. So I'm not personally going to be like mad about that, but I do acknowledge that it is a shame that that's something that didn't get improved on. I think what we're really seeing is that, you know, if you play the game for like the combat, then this game isn't much of a step up. Like, I'd say it's a step up in the sense that the graphics look so much better that you can experience the battles in an even cooler way, right? But beyond that, you know, functionally, it's still the same. It's really for the creative park builders that this game is just a huge leap forward. There you go. Oh, it is a bit of a bite. It's not necessarily a headbutt. It is a bit of a bite. And the baby can tank the first one. Same with Uteranus. You know, it gets up. It rallies after the first bite. The second bite is gonna kill it. And you can see, you know, the adult sauropods right there. They don't do anything to defend the baby. It's just like, well, sucks to be you, I guess. I'm just glad it's not me today. It's gonna be me tomorrow, but not today. So yeah, I think it's a hugely improved game for builders like me. And not so much for people who just want to simulate, you know, fights like this. And there you go. Oh, that is more of a headbutt. And that killed it. Now, rest in peace, baby baby. I'm sorry. Alright, so I just wanted to be sure about the combat, because, you know, I pitted the Indominus Rex against the Uteranus, and obviously that is a one-bite scenario. So I figured, okay, we're gonna make a Giga, and we're gonna see what happens there. But, you know, just giving you fair warning. As far as I could tell, as far as the Gaming Beaver could tell, combat works the exact same way as it did. So don't expect any huge leaps forward for that. You're really going to be looking at this game from a builder perspective. Alright, so something that I failed to check is the variance, which is a big boo-boo on my part. I did think to go through the Sandbox settings. I was in the wrong menu first, don't judge me. So yeah, you can tell my priorities were like all over the place. I didn't check on the variance, but thankfully I was talking to someone else afterwards who did. And I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on your name right now. We talked for a while, I'm so sorry. But yeah, they did check. Bless them. Bless them. I think Sean, am I saying that right? I'm so sorry. Sean, if that's your name, I'm so sorry. But yeah, they did check, and they were able to confirm that variants are in the game. Yes. So, they specifically checked for the Frontier Iguanodon. It's in the game. We have the Dominion variant, and we have the Frontier variant. I don't remember if they... about the Giga, I think they said that, you know, you start off with the Dominion variant, but you can switch it to the Frontier variant. So yeah, thankfully, you know, through a collaborative effort, we were able to figure that out, and I think that's going to put a lot of people at ease. You know, the Frontier variants are back. And that is a huge win for me because, you know, I don't like the Dominion Iguanodon. So I'm really, really happy that we get the Frontier one back. Super, super happy. And yeah, just amazing that, you know, this is what you get when like different people play the game. They look at different things and they discover new information. And that's great that we can share that. And don't worry, again, I'll be doing my homework. I'll be watching like everybody's videos and see what they discovered, and I'll be sharing all the news as well, like in a bite-sized format. So at this point, I'm just waiting for my Giga and Indominus Rex to fight, and then I remembered, oh, I still have some of the decoration tabs to scroll through, and I also wanted to do more like investigating for the modular building stuff. So we're actually going to do that first. So you place a pre-built building, and then you can go into edit group. And now you can edit this as you do in modular building. Every single item you can select, and you can move it, delete it, resize it, recolor it, all that good stuff. So for example, if you don't like, you know, that wooden awning that's over the front door, you could just get rid of that specifically. If you don't like that it's white, you could just recolor it. Right. So here we go, the battle. Capture mode is back. That's a good thing to see. And I'm just setting up to see the battle. And again, this is a bit of a disappointment for people who play the game for stuff like this. It is just, you know, taking turns biting at each other. It just looks a lot better. That's the improvement that you get. It looks a lot better graphically. Yeah, it works the same way, and the Giga now backs down. The Indominus has won the battle. And I'm sure that, you know, the same way in Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2, eventually they will square up against each other again, and one of them will end up dying. But yeah, that's just how the combat is. Alright, so here we go. Sandbox settings. Just showing you all of those. Now, we should be seeing it in here as well. But we can set it so the baby dinosaurs will never grow up. So that's really good. You know, if you just want to enjoy your babies forever. Oh, we just went full on creepy there. But yeah. Oh, I gotta commit now. If you want to enjoy the baby dinosaurs forever and not turn your park into like an unethical dinosaur mill, you can just set that to juveniles not growing up. So here I was like playing around with what happens if you dig around path. Again, I'm just like searching for ways to create a bridge, and honestly I could not find one. Like, you can make a fake bridge, and I do that a little bit later, but there's just no way to make a real functional bridge, you know, with the path or with the items. Guests don't interact with the items the way they do with path. Like, they can walk over it as we saw earlier, but you can't like achieve elevation with it. At least not as I was able to figure out here. Who knows, maybe one day we'll discover like this game-changing glitch. Functional bridges are now possible, but I'm not counting on it. It's not baked into the game, so it is what it is, but mostly what it isn't. So yeah, I'm just repeating the process here. I'm placing down a bunch of these items. Oh, I did it wrong actually. So after placing down these floor pieces, I discovered that you can't dig down under them, because that was going to be like my first experiment, right? So if I dig down here, are the guests going to fall through the flooring? Or are they, you know, are they going to walk over the flooring with the path under it for the, like, the AI pathfinding, right? Unfortunately, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't dig down under it, so I had to get rid of the path. And then, you know, you run into the issue where, you know, guests just won't walk where you're gonna place your bridge. Now, something's gonna happen here as I'm building. I don't want it to alarm you. As I'm building this, the ground comes up. And I was thinking to myself, why is that happening? Now we can't even build fake bridges. I managed to do it later. Sorry, it's so funny when the Jeep comes driving through. But yeah, We can build fake bridges. I did something wrong here. I don't know what, but there must have been a setting somewhere that the ground comes up when I do this. But I was able to do it later differently. I don't know exactly what I did differently, but yeah, don't worry. We can build fake bridges just for the look of it. So I'm just resetting that. And in the background, the Indominus is just, you know, hunting one Diplodocus after another. And I checked, the Indominus never took any damage or anything. And here you can see the Giga is just, it's ignoring the kayakers, honestly. It's not doing anything with them. I think it might go to eat from the corpse there. Yeah, it's eating from the corpse. Indominus just patrolling for its next victim. All the little babies getting traumatized. Yeah, I was playing around with the water, trying to create a waterfall, but the terrain was getting a little weird. At this point, you know, it's getting like, the gameplay is getting a little extra chaotic, but at this point I was just aware that it was going to be wrapping up soon. So how it was set up is, you know, we were being treated like we're real park managers for Din, and this was like a digital simulation, and they would be assessing us based on that digital simulation. So, you know, they would be watching us and assessing how effective we are as park managers. So this was all in universe. But as time went on, you know, lights started to flicker and flash, and there was like this I don't know, this like computer noise or something in the background. I'm just messing with the skins, by the way. But like, you know, signs were happening that the event was getting hacked. And of course, this is the like opposing group that was teased in the second trailer, right? So we work for Din. We're just building our parks and our facilities, integrating dinosaurs into the modern world as you do. Unlike David Kep. But there, at the end of that trailer, there was like this group that came in to sabotage us. And that group also came to sabotage the event. So as I was playing this, I was noticing that, you know, more and more frequently, lights were starting to flicker. That like weird computer noise that you always hear in like movies when someone is being hacked or something technical is going wrong, you know, that sort of sound. So that just alerted me to the fact that time was running out. So I don't work well under time pressure. I don't work well under any pressure. So there's that. So yeah, I really struggled figuring out like what to do with the time that I had left. And I really just wanted, after like that failure of trying to make a fake bridge, I decided, okay, I have to see if I can actually do this. So I eventually realized that filters exist. Eventually. There you go. Yeah, there it is, love. So yeah, filters exist. I filtered for wood, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna build the most basic wooden bridge that ever existed. So I just found some flat ground to build it on, and then I would move it over. So I wouldn't have the issue as before with the terrain coming up to meet the item, right? So I'm just grabbing it to move it over to build the bridge. And I did manage to make it work that way. Like I could, you know, I didn't ever get to finish my bridge, but I did manage to create like the first hints of it. So you can see how that's gonna work. And as disappointed as I am that bridges won't be functional, I am happy that we can at least fake it. That's gonna be a huge help. And you know, it's only gonna be a matter of time until someone uploads fake guests into the workshop. You know, just guests built out of some of these pieces, recolored to, you know, match t-shirts and pants and helmets and stuff like that. Well, that's workers, isn't it? But yeah, someone is undoubtedly gonna upload guests into the workshop, and you can just place those on your bridges to make them look a little bit more alive, you know, and that's how you're gonna create the illusion. But yeah, they are not functional. And that's the last thing that I did during this gameplay, and then the lights flashing became more intense, and one of the presenters came up to the podium, came up to the microphone, and was like, "Oh, don't be alarmed. We have everything is under control. Don't worry." But then, of course, all hell broke loose, and one of the guys was like, had his back against the door, the entry, and someone else must have been on the other side, ramming the door like a dinosaur trying to get in, and dinosaur sounds were playing over the speakers, and the DIN employees were like corralling us into a bunker, or kind of like a basement kind of thing off to the side, and red lights were flashing, and yeah, those dinosaur sounds over the speaker were getting more intense, and we were just hidden inside that makeshift bunker waiting for it to be safe. And it was really, that was how they ended our gameplay session, and I thought that was really clever and really cool, again going for that immersion. And it's a cooler end to the session than them just being like, "Okay, well, everybody, take your hand off the keyboard, and this is now the end." So yeah, I think this is actually maybe the moment where it all happened. So at this point in time, me and the Gaming Beaver and everyone else was, heading into that little bunker. Gaming Beaver grabbed a muffin along the way. Survival instincts are strong in him. He was ready to survive in that bunker. And that was basically the end of the event. I will be showing you more of the event as well, but that's something else that's gonna have to wait until I'm home and I can properly edit. I captured some footage. Frontier videoed me throughout the day. I'm gonna get that as well, so I can make that for you guys. They're also gonna be sharing it on their own social media. And yeah, again, this weekend, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out from the event that I will cover on the channel as well. I'm going home tomorrow, so you can expect way more content to come. It's really funny to think that at this very moment, all of us were in this little makeshift bunker type of room, cowering, and someone was on the other side of the door just being banging on the door, pretending to be a dinosaur. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, stay tuned for more.